Killshot 99 Gaming. This is Dead City episode number 4, live reactions and recaps. So thank you guys for staying up a little bit later tonight and going over some of the content from tonight. So I enjoyed it. It got going right out of the gates. So I know we got a few people that are going to log in here shortly. But while they're making their way to the stream, we're going to do what we always do on these recap and reactions, just for historical content. Leave in chat right now. Let me know if you had to score tonight's episode from a 1 to a 10, where you would have rated tonight's episode. So I see 8, 9.3, 9.1, 9.2. I usually come up with a score, and then I either talk myself out of it or analyze and justify it along the way. So I see Dr. Dye, 9.4. Harold Evans says 8. Valar, 9.3. All right, I'm going to come in a little bit lower tonight. I'm coming in at a 8.7. 8.7. So to those of you out there that had it as a 9, might be a little disappointing. I will tell you, if it was based on Simon coming back, then I would have given it a 10, because I absolutely I like the backstory. I liked seeing the way we were starting out. About midway through, I had some concerns. I'll critique it a little bit, but let's start out from the top. And you know, we had a Simon flashback, and the one thing that Simon said is, kids are a line that we don't cross. So we come to find out that Croat is torturing this girl. So that's what really pushed Negan to a whole different level. And then we got into a little bit of story. This is where I took a few points away, and I'll get into that in 1 second. But before I get into kind of where I took the points and where I gave them back, I see several faces here tonight. I want to give shout-outs to all of you guys, and we will throughout the stream. So, Walani's here. Good to see you. Harold Evans, some of our Play Dead Live players as well. So, what were you most impressed with tonight? Let's start with the positive. And if there was one thing that you had to pick from tonight's episode that was a good takeaway, leave it in chat right now. I want to read some of the comments. Give a few people a couple seconds to type in. The Croat setting a big trap. How Negan saved the sheriff. Maggie helping Ginny. All good points. All good points. Little deceptiveness between Maggie and Negan. Dimes, that's where I'm going to take away some points, because I gave a lot of bonus points for that last week. That we finally got over the Negan Maggie drama, and it looks like they brought it back a little bit this week. So if you missed, it was 2 weeks ago. So if you missed the episode we did 2 weeks ago, when Negan had the infamous knock scene, it appeared as though Maggie kind of got it right. She understood why he does what he did. I saw some genuine fear on the actors' faces tonight. Bonus points for that too. So Negan genuinely looked concerned when he started remembering what the Croat did to kids. All right? And they set that up very nicely. They showed the backstory of the torture. They showed the kid who's in the control room now. And that sets it up for, oh my gosh, what's going on with Herschel? Now, Negan looked concerned for Herschel. Did you guys kind of catch that? Where he's kind of sitting there right after he remembers the scene with Simon. It goes back to him. And I think at this point he's thinking like, Herschel is either tortured or he's dead. So You could see that. And then when they go in to Penn Station and are looking through all the doors, then you finally see the kid. Looks a little like Herschel. And they did the makeup really well. So how many people here noticed how pale they made Maggie's face look? It was like they cut the scene and they went back and she was just white as a ghost. So I thought, excellent job with that. Come to find out, Herschel's out there, not dead. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. So that was really well done. So there were a couple things that they did that I thought, we've been there, done that. As good as some of these villains are, Negan being able to sneak away just behind the car, typical movie stuff. Like, how do they always just disappear so quietly? I thought, to me, that's been overdone a few times. The cage match, I probably would have done it a little different than get in the cage. I thought, with the walkers coming down the bleacher steps, I thought that could have been handled a little bit differently. It looked like, they had a getaway, but they had to sort of get trapped before they escaped. Very convenient. You got to kill off a few people, though. They lost a few. And that's what I kind of dinged it on with a couple of the points. Other than that, I thought the storyline was good. I thought it progressed. And the cliffhanger is not very good. So let me ask you this. We see that Pearlie has Negan kind of under wraps. And next week we see they're working together. So what do you guys think happened? Does Negan promise to turn himself in? Does Pearlie owe him one? That's always the tough spot when they have to give a preview for the next week and it kind of tells you like, well, we know that Pearlie's not going to kill Negan, for sure. Previews and spoilers are tough, man. Yeah. Did a ton of videos for Empires and Allies, Nova. Absolutely. I had a great partnership with them. Yeah, Harold's storyline is getting good. I don't know, though, with 2 weeks to go, if there's any way to not leave it as a cliffhanger. Like, I know The Walking Dead does not like these season-ending cliffhangers, but let's be honest. Some of their best episodes were cliffhangers. I love it. I love the speculation. Actually gives us time to analyze and assess next season. Yeah, I think so. Valar, I definitely think that working together, I mean, look, the Croat's tough. But we've got 2 episodes, and we got a Negan Croat showdown. Now, there's one blatantly obvious storyline happening here. Give me the 999 if you guys want Killshot's bold prediction. Because I saw it. I saw it tonight. All right, I got a good one for you guys. All right. It looks to me like I think it is Tommaso and Amaya. That's the girl, right? Tommaso and Amaya. Everybody's dead. Ginny just got herself some foster parents. Did you guys see that happening? We got Maggie. Ginny hasn't spoken. Her dad was killed. Negan can't have her as a tag along forever. So it just kind of worked out. That's all they have left. So the Ginny story arc, that's kind of a neat, I think it's kind of a neat story. You know, she loses her dad. She got her little stuffed animal. And this group just basically lost everybody. So to me, that seems like a little bit. I see E Beach in the house. That seems like a little bit of a of some redemption, like a little bit of happiness going here. And I think it also gives them a good gateway to get Ginny out. Now it can be Negan, Pearlie, Maggie. Negan has his battle with the Croat. Maggie gets her rescue mission with Herschel. Not sure what's going to happen with Pearlie. But Tommaso, Ginny, and Amaya, they're gonna make off happily ever after. All right, so I got a question for the group. And if you know spoilers, don't answer. So this is strictly for people that don't know, like myself. Croat dies this season, or we carry it over into the next season? All right, several people are hoping he's gone. See, I agree, Eric. I almost want to see the Croat developed a little bit more. Now, it's not bad. They've done a pretty good job, I think, with the backstory. But where to next? Do we get a Rick clue? If the Croat dies and Maggie gets Herschel back, what's next? Leave it in chat right now. That's a little bit of my concern. I mean, Is it possible? Well, let me ask this big picture question. And that's where I'm going with this, Villar. Is it possible that the Commonwealth has left the Croat alone? Is it possible that he has some insight into Rick? Because you would think, they're barbaric, that the Commonwealth could just wipe them out if they wanted to. And they did give a little bit of a hint that these communities talk to each other, because the Croat said, he's like, look, I heard that there was a war. I heard you lost the sanctuary. So for the Croat to be in New York and the sanctuary to be in Virginia, you're 5 hours away by car. It's not like they're that close. So if you've got Commonwealth in between monitoring the situation, they got to know what's going on in New York. Especially with Rick being held captive. Likely not that far away in Pennsylvania, maybe Philly. So that's the only way I can see. If you're going to get rid of the Croat, you got to leave some breadcrumbs, and we got to know that the next quest is to find Rick. I mean, what is going to keep Maggie and Negan working together if Herschel's not gone? Because I don't think they put this together for just 6 episodes. So if we've got a longer term partnership, I'll give you the Croat death, but you got to give me that Maggie and Negan are going to have a quest to find Rick. That's where the story leads next. Yeah, I see. Busy. I could I could embrace that. Maybe, kind of like Jadis with the AB. Maybe Herschel was collateral. That there was a trade. I mean, we did see the Croat talking to Herschel, but we don't know the time frame for that. Was that a couple days ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? So I like that better. Yeah, I don't think Herschel's dead, Eric. But I could see a situation where Herschel is not there any longer. I like that. I like that as a good storyline. That would keep, something has to happen to keep these two working together. See Kayak, Negan's a wanted man. Would Maggie help him escape? Yeah, I mean, I think that all depends on what happens with Pearlie next week. Does Pearlie continue being a marshal? Does Pearlie realize that it's not worth it? Does he look the other way? Negan's not going to be executed. He has a family. He's not going to be jailed. So, could Maggie help him escape? Could Pearlie give him a pass? Something has to happen along those lines. And whether or not they can drag Pearlie deeper into the story. So let me ask you guys this: is Pearlie a part of the? Okay, maybe. Do we go? I hate to even suggest it. Okay. Do we go Tommy Lee Jones, Harrison Ford, fugitive here? Is that the direction Dead City's going? That Maggie's got unfinished business, and Negan gives him the slip, and Pearlie is always like a step or two behind. That could be kind of cool. I could see that. And that gives us enough. It keeps Pearlie around. They don't have to be partners. He doesn't have to compromise what he's trying to do. He's always like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Because I do think Ginny needs that safety and security, and I think Negan's ready to turn that over. And Maggie's quest isn't done. So ultimately, my prediction is going to be I'm going to steal a few of your ideas. Croat doesn't die. All right? I'm going to say that first. I don't think Croat dies in the next 2 episodes. Number 2, I don't think Herschel's there. I agree with both. I do think we get some breadcrumbs. Well, actually, hold on. Let's back this up, okay? I got a better one. Herschel is gone. Negan tortures the Croat in episode 6 to the brink of death. And Maggie allows it because it is for the good of finding information of where Herschel was moved to. And that builds the bond between Negan and Maggie. And we might find out a little bit more about Rick. All right? Herschel's moved to the Commonwealth. The Croat knows it. He bartered. He traded it off so he can continue to get supplies. He needs things too. He has information. Negan has to torture the Croat to get the information out of him. Retribution. Maggie's okay with it. And then the quest continues next season with Negan and Maggie going to find Herschel, and they get a hint about Rick, and they give Pearlie the slip, and now Pearlie is going to be after Maggie and Negan because Maggie's going to help him escape. All right, that's what I got, everybody. So we are 30 minutes in. You guys like it? Well, you know what? We don't get to do bold predictions very often because there's too many spoilers out there. All right. You know what? We got 30 minutes. We're going to keep this at 30 minutes so we can watch the playback. Anybody that missed it, do me a favor. If you're here tonight, if you're watching, if you're chatting, give me a 999. I'm going to give you a shout out in the video. And we will be back tomorrow night for Play Dead Live. We got Faction Wars. We got Trivia Tuesday night. We got more Faction Wars on Wednesday night. We got a box event on Thursday, a storyline on Friday, and then we'll be back here for the Walking Dead fans next Sunday night. So thanks for being here tonight. I see you, Harold Evans, Eric Beach, Julia Muse, Busy Bee, C. Kayak, Kel, Diana, Deadly Dimes, Walani, Valar. Thank you all for being here tonight. If you missed us live, we're here live. I see B-Dub in the house. But watch the playback. Feel free to leave your comments in the playback. And I will see all of my PDL players and warriors and battlers tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.